Okay, so someone in my last video asked me to make a tutorial on VirtualBox, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Because I actually use VirtualBox and I know how to set it up properly without messing things up. So instead of gatekeeping, let's just get into it. All right, so right now I'm inside a virtual machine. If you already have VirtualBox installed on your PC, you can skip this part. I added timestamps, so just jump ahead. If not, open your browser and search for VirtualBox. Click the first result, then hit the download button. And from there, click Accept and Download. Now, I also recommend downloading the VirtualBox extension pack. You'll need it later. Let's wait for it to finish downloading. All right, it's done. Took a minute. Now open File Explorer, go to your Downloads folder, and install it like a normal installer. By the way, I personally uncheck these two boxes. You can do the same if you want. After that's done, install the extension pack as well. Now that it's installed, I'll switch to my main PC. Open up your VirtualBox, and your layout should look something like this. Before we continue, make sure virtualization is enabled in your BIOS. Different brands put it in different places, so quickly Google yours if needed. Now, click on New. From here, select your ISO file using the dropdown. Next, choose a file location. I'm creating a new folder for it, just to keep things organized. Select the folder. Give your machine a name. VirtualBox usually auto-selects the correct type and version, so no need to touch that. Now open the next section and set a password. Then go to the hardware section. Choose how much RAM you want to give it. To decide properly, open Task Manager and check how much RAM is free while your system is idle. Then assign something below that. For CPU cores, I have a 6-core processor, so I'm giving it 4. Also, enable EFI. Now storage. You can customize this, but I'm setting mine to 30 gigabytes. And done. Wait, why is it not finishing? Ah, there we go. Make sure your host name has no spaces. Now we're actually done. Now open settings again, scroll down a bit and increase video memory to the maximum. Okay, now let's start the virtual machine by clicking this. Okay, if it doesn't detect the ISO file automatically, just manually select it from here. And we're in. Here's a quick tip. If you want to copy text from Windows to the VM, go to Devices, Shared Clipboard. Host to guest means Windows to VM, and this means VM to Windows. Bidirectional means both ways. I'll set it to host to guest because I'd never copy anything from my VM, and I don't think you will too. And that's it. Your VM is ready. You can install the OS and use it however you want. Shout out to Gil Iman for suggesting this video. Also, to close the VM, click the close button and choose how you want to shut it down. I recommend power off to power it off. What else did you expect it to do? Now, if you want to delete it completely, right-click it, click Remove, then Delete All Files. That removes everything from the folder. Now, here's something important. Personally, I don't fully recommend VirtualBox for heavy usage. It's easy to use, yes, but performance-wise, it's not the most stable. You'll notice higher system usage sometimes. If you want better performance, I recommend VMware. It's more efficient and smoother overall. I use it too. The only downside is the long sign-up process, which honestly, most people don't like. It's free though, but it's closed source. VirtualBox is open source, meaning you can inspect and modify the code, and that's one big reason many people still prefer it. And speaking of GitHub, if you dread reviewing pull requests or cleaning up messy AI-generated code, this is for you. With AI writing more code than ever, reviews are getting messy, missed context, sloppy prompts, endless back and forth. It's not coding that's slow anymore, it's alignment. CodeRabbit is an AI code review copilot. It leaves context-aware comments, suggests one-click fixes, and even learns from your feedback. You can set custom rules using AST grep patterns to catch subtle issues traditional tools miss, keeping your repo clean and secure. But here's what's new. Issue Planner. Before code is even written, it helps your team create a structured coding plan inside your issue tracker. It defines scope, files to change, success criteria, even generates a refined prompt package for your coding agent. So instead of fixing AI slop later, you align upfront. Better prompts, less rework, cleaner pull requests, faster shipping. If you're using AI in your workflow, you'll want this. If that sounds useful, check out CodeRabbit. Links in the description. Anyway, I hope this video helped you understand how VirtualBox works. If it did, that's a win. And if everything goes well, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace.